Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to week two, match one of Elysium. It's going to be a good one today. We have FT, the reigning champions from last season, led by Zaf, going against what seems to be the favorite to win it all this season in SCG. I do believe the betting odds are minus 200 for SCG here, minus 120 for KWM, which could be a little biased, but that is my team here. Um, but looks like FT is coming in at plus 100 odds. So get your bets in at www.paco.com. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome, everybody. This is going to be a great match today. It's a great match to start off the second week here. Like I said, we have the favorites to win here in SCG. Sayo looks like they just joined the game here. So we got a full squad from SCG versus the full squad of FT. Like I said, they are going to be led by Zaf, who was the MVP from last season. That is going to be FT's franchise player. So I am looking forward to seeing and casting two teams with some pretty high caliber players here. So I do believe we are going to be going to map picks and bans relatively soon here. Um, Looks like we are switching over to it now. I do have a live look at it here. So tonight I am going to be joined by Alias or Anima, as you know her. Um, Hopefully relatively soon. Maybe they will be coming here in map 2, but we will just have to see. So um, looks like, picks are already coming in. So it looks like SCG is going to be banning Lotus with the first pick, and Flaming Tanukis is going to be banning Split. So SCG, from what I hear, is not a huge fan of the 3-site maps. So looks like Lotus is going to be a pretty safe ban there. Flaming Tanuki is going to go ahead and pick Ascent for the first map, which is great because as host, Ascent is the default map here. So it looks like map 1 is going to be Ascent. Now, SCG is going to be up here next. I think we're going to be playing Bind here for map 2. In terms of the comps, SCG did take kind of run away against KWM last week on Bind, so I am excited to see that, but we will see what Flaming Tanukis has in response on Ascent. Flaming Tanukis is going to go ahead and ban Fracture, and SCG is going to ban Pearl, so the decider map is going to be Haven. So if it gets to that point, we will see SCG on a 3-site map here. So looks like so far, Flaming Tanuki is going to be on attack for both Ascent and Bind. Will that be the case for Haven? Yes, it will. So I think every single Elysium match now, it's just been pretty linear where one team has attacked every single half, starting half, and the other team has defended every single other half. So, all right. So now that map picks and bans are in, Ascent is the first map. Everybody is on the right team. It looks like we're going to go ahead and start whenever the players are ready. All right. Looks like we are going to start it up here in 3, 2, 1. There she is. All right. All right, retired god. What are you planning on seeing in terms of comp wise? Oh, I think we're gonna be seeing a pretty standard comp from both teams here. I think we're gonna see the standard KJ, Omen, KO, Sova, and Jet. Looks like that is what is being hovered from the defender side in SCG here, which is going to be the exact same comp that they did play against Kittens with Mittens. And it looks like so far FT is going to be hovering the same comp as well. I personally am a fan of Astra, so I would like to see something a little bit different, but it looks like, the meta of Ascent is pretty set in stone. It looks like that's pretty much what we're going to get here. Mako, if he does play Yoru, I would absolutely love to see it, or unrated. There's always the classic Yoru hovers, but At the end of the day, it looks like it's probably just going to be the standard mirror comp. I do actually think that um, a comp with Deadlock on Ascent is coming in the near future, but we shall see. We shall see. Um, but yeah, we got 10 seconds until we start here. Ego going Omen, hopefully not Phoenix, and we do have the mirror comp. I am really excited to see this match. I know Zaf, I recall last season playing KJ, played it really, really well, but does like the solo lurk on attack. We will see if SCG chooses to punish that solo lurk and push them out and maybe get them in a 3v1, 2v1 situation. But we shall see. We shall see. See what we got from the attacker's side. Looks like it's going to be leaning towards a B hit, which the standard 5-man push up B is a nice little ranked comp strategy that most teams like to play. Although it looks like Jet is going to be coming towards tiles instead. Got the flank watch from Zaf. Of course, that's exactly what a KJ is for. It looks like they're going to be sending Creeper Zone over towards A to at least buy a fake. Oh, it looks like he's got some knife lineups as well, which I am interested to see. It looks like they're going to be deciding to take mid control. Porange is spotted from tiles. Now we have, and Sayo is now spotted in mid here as well. I think they are pretty aware that everybody is going to be collected in mid, and it looks like everybody is kind of leaning towards it. Mako does choose to send a dart mid, or actually opts against it. Cell is able to get 1 and 2, and Icy does get the trade, but now we have a 4v3 situation, and everybody's stuck in tree. Sayo decides to go up into heaven, and now we have a little bit of a stall. Does see Creeper Zone. Unfortunately, he's not able to get a kill. Creeper peeks out for the pick, and unfortunately does get smoked off. Now we have a just Creeper Zone left, and unfortunately Sayo is whiffing all of his shots, but Porn says, I got you, bro, and is there for the 3-piece. Solid defense from SCG, and that's exactly what you like to see on a defense-sided map. You'd love to win pistols on attack, but unfortunately SCG does know how important those pistol rounds are on defending side. For the attackers, they're able to take it down. Looks like now we might actually for it looks like we are going to be having a hit towards B here. I think they do want to go fast, but KJ is set up. They are going to hear the orb get hit, and they are going to decide to play it slow, especially with the smoke coming out. They might hear, they do ping out the KJ util, so they are aware that KJ is set up here, but it looks like it's relatively standing still here. Sayo is able to get 1 in mid on the Jet, and Icy is no longer able to entry for their team here in FT, so they are just collecting here in mid. Everybody is kind of holding still, which is pretty smart, being that they don't want to give them any free guns. The second smoke does come up, but this one is a little bit deeper, and Prisma might be able to get an early pick. Creeper Zone does have a flash ready for the execute. It does look like they want to execute here on B. They are being very slow. They might just try and stall out the smoke, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I think the flash is going to be coming in here soon. There it goes, and the execute is now. Unfortunately, even after pinging out the util from KJ, they don't decide to break it at all. And now it's just Omen. He is able to get 1, but unfortunately cannot get any more. And it's not a horrible save round, but they just ran into an absolute wall on B. 2 rounds now for SCG, which is, again, exactly what you want to see here, especially after winning pistols. That would be a devastating blow if FT were going to want to take that round out. But I don't know if the stalling out and waiting for that Omen blind is the case here. Looks like they are going to be opting for a somewhat of a default here towards A. Bomb is down on the ground. Maybe they're going to be doing a 2-2-1 split here, so we will see. We might get a gunfight here in mid. KJ does spot Porridge there, and we have 2 up at, so they don't know that anybody is up close, but they do give up tree control and are going to be deprived of that information with the Omen smoke. There is the spamming through the smoke a little bit, and Cell is able to get one. Again, he is going huge in tree, and Porridge also is able to get one in tree, and all of a sudden this looks like it's going to be a really hard take because guns are now in the favor of SCG. Everybody is stalling behind the smokes. They seem to be very afraid of these smokes and do not want to push in, which is a fair assessment, being that they have worse guns than the other, or long range guns compared to the short range of pistols and specters of the other team, but they haven't been able to capitalize. And Cell is able to get Prisma, was not ready for the swing. Nobody expected they were close, and now Bomb is down, and there's just 2 people stuck in mid. If I'm them, I want to save, but Zaf does have a little bit of space in mid, and now Icy is going to play across with them. I do imagine they will be saving these guns here and trying to play this cross and punish anybody who tries to lurk up mid, but I don't see the other team really playing in that manner and trying to take anybody else. Of course, they do hear Unrated running away, but I don't know why you would peek that either and give away your guys' position. I mean, this is not what you want to see here from FT, the reigning champions from season 3. SCG really is showing they are a top contender, and Cell already has an alt online. Even if they try to force, FT tries to force here, which it doesn't look like they are, they will shut it down. Looks like they are opting for an 8 hit again, maybe trying to split up mid. The deep smoke comes down, but Seo does decide to play in front of it. But a smoke from Omen, from Orange does come top cat, and all of a sudden it's just a spray fest through mid. They do decide to give up A, and it looks like they're going to execute. Icy goes on, and everybody follows in behind. We have everybody on site. Orange does try to get one. He does, comes out, and Icy is able to pick up the second kill. The drone, Sova drone, is shot, and they are deprived of information, and now it is a straight gunfight. Icy needs to go huge here. He does get a second. Mako is able to pick Zaf, and now their post plan is not looking as good as it was before. Door is now broken, and it looks like they're starting to pinch on site. Icy is able to get another one. Prisma is able to clear Seo as well, and that's exactly what they needed in order to get back into this game. That was an absolute must-win round here, and they did. So showing that maybe a little bit of a faster pace is going to be the way to do it, because they absolutely gave up a site there in SCG, and they were punished for it. Even with taking out Zaf, their post-plan player there, everybody else was able to pick up the pace and pick up where Zaf was unable to cover with the post-plan util. Looks like they will decide to hit A again. If it's not broke, don't fix it. They do decide to go a bit slower. They might have heard that KJ bot go down in A, and they are both going to get pinged from the KO dart. So they do have a relative idea, but it is KJ and their entry, so I would start to lean one person towards A. But it looks like they are going to stay true with the 2-on-2 setup. They do now hear the Sova drone, so they now know that there's 3 players here, and now the Sova does decide to come to A. Looks like they are getting ready to execute here. Icy pops the dash, and the KO ult does come down, and we have a fight on site. The execute is starting to go well. Celoram does go down with the KO ult. He is able to get revived, and it looks like he will, which is exactly what which SCG needs. They do decide to spam through the smoke, and Prisma is able to get repick Cell. He did not have any shield to work with, and the dart is broken. They do know one is still on site because of that dart, and it's just a 3v4 situation. But look at all of the unrated with the lurk is insane with his pinches. There is an alarm bot watching it, but they are on site. He does need to pick up the pace if he wants to get something, and he does, and he is in an incredible position to get a kill. And Porridge just goes for 3, and Unrated goes for 2. Porridge is now sitting at an 8-1 and 4 score line, and is looking like he's going to be one of the big impact players of this team. Sayo is opting for an op this round, as he is 2-3 as a reigning MVP of the Season 2 Elysium division. It looks like they're pinging A again. It looks like they want to go for an A hit. Maybe this one's going to be fast here. And I don't know if Sayo is going to be able to get a pick with the op. He is holding tiles instead of Top Cat, but does get smoked off. Looks like they are going to be holding relatively passive angles, which I don't disagree with, being that they are FT is on a save round here, but the last time they did give up A and they were on a and FT was on a save round, they did end up losing that round. Icy does get on site, and it is a free site, so not much util is needed. It seems like they do try to play this retake strategy, and a little bit of a fight it might happen here in Tree. It's Creeper Zone and Icy against Orange here, and everybody's collecting Heaven. And Icy is able to get 1 on Orange and also gets 2. This is exactly what I said was happening from the previous time that they completely gave up A. And Icy needs to go huge every time, and so far he does, but they are able to do an insane retake, and they retake flawlessly. Almost. Because Icy was able to get 2 in the beginning there, but they do get swept on the really clean retake, showing that once they can get the knives down, just a couple of sheriffs is not going to do the trick. The defending side is really looking strong. Obviously, that's a really good save round from the side of FT, but you really do need to start collecting some rounds here, because the last thing you want is for the favorite to win the season to start to collect momentum. And you saw that from last week's match against KWM. Once they started to get that momentum, they ran with it. Instant Smoke looks like they are going to be going towards B here, but a little bit of a default. They do have 2 people mid. Icy does jump up onto Arch, and an excellent paranoia comes in, but Sal is there to hold it behind the smoke. A little bit of a cross. Sayo is on site and is somehow able to get 2. An incredible spray transfer, and that's exactly what they needed to hold that down. He does get spammed through the smoke because of the Sova dart, and Porridge is going. Looks like he's going to TP onto B side, which is exactly what they do need to equalize this position. They are on site, and he's not going to cancel it, and unfortunately does get punished because of it. Zaf is able to get 1, and now it's a 3v3 situation. They know exactly where everybody is. Unrated is able to get Zaf, but Creeper is there for the trade. It is now a 1v2 situation. Mako does get Prisma, and now it's all up to Creeper Zone. The rookie of the season is up against a KO and a Sova, 2 info initiators, and he is in a unwinnable situation, being pinged by that Sova drone. That is not what you like to see. You do need that KO dart in order to stop that drone from even getting to you, but unfortunately he did not have it. He was not able to close out the round. A little BM, but it's much deserved, as the reigning champions are the favorite to win. I must say, being the rain, I would be getting a timeout call if I was in the shoes of FT. I think that is something that's very necessary. They might be waiting until the next buy round, but it looks like they might be doing an interesting half buy situation here. We will see. It looks like every time they do like to say, they opt to hit towards A, and Zaf is going to do the solo lurk, which unfortunately has not been working with him. With a 1-6-0 stat line, is holding mid and looking towards Tree. We have Ego pushing up Cat completely uncontested. A is the weak site, and they do have 4 people over there. Looks like A is going to be the play here. They do semi-rotate and do try to take a little bit more mid control, but unfortunately Prisma is going to peek into slow peek into an op, and that is just not going to do it. Sayo instantly looks towards the position of Zaf, is holding more towards tiles, but does get a smoke, and Zaf is able to rotate if he would please. Bomb is stuck behind a smoke and will get pinged by the KO knife, and they are relatively aware, it looks like, that FT is opting for an A hit. Zaf is in an interesting position because I'm sure they watch film, but Unrated does like to push out of arches in mid. It looks like he is relatively aware and is holding for that, but does not want to push across and play with his team, which is not a horrible play, but I would want to start to get aggressive. Unfortunately, Unrated does pick off Icy in top cat. Now Zaf does know where he is, and unfortunately, and is able to get a kill, an excellent kill from Zaf, but Cell is able to get Creeper Zone, and now Ego, the only person with a gun, is able to get one, but I would be trying to save this gun, being that your team is in a losing position here. But unfortunately, Cell does pick him up. He was in a little bit of a pickle there, being pinched from both Churi and Sight. I don't know how you were supposed to save it, but if he was, that was probably the play. Now that they are on a bye, I would love to see a timeout from FT here. Does not look like that's going to be the case. Sal sitting at a 13-3-3 stat line. You might want to see a little bit more assists from a KO, but 13 kills and 3 deaths, you know he's having a solid impact on this. Looks like they are pinging towards mid, so they might be a relatively hit in mid. They do have complete mid control. They're going SCG is opting for a 3-2 setup and is heavily stacked towards B, and they are pushing out of B. So now it's just Mako holding market, and they might get punished with this if they do opt to hit B, but they're not. And all of a sudden, Sayo and Unrated have an incredible position here with this defensive lurk, but it looks like Zaf and Creeper Zone were aware, but unfortunately, Creeper Zone does peek into an op against Sayo, and that is just not something that you're going to be able to win against. Ego is able to get a pick on Sayo. That is a much needed trade and equalizes the position at 3-3. Op is down, and Icy now does give an advantage towards FT here. They are now in a 2v3 situation. Orange does pick up the orb on A, and it looks like they're just going to be playing together. FT being careful, checking everything, making sure that site is clear, and they are going to plant in the left corner of site versus default, which is something that I do like. And unfortunately, Prisma pushes out and away from his team, which I really don't like. Maybe he was playing for lineups if he had shock darts, but now it's an equalized position, and this is now something that you want to see from the side of FT. All of a sudden, this is a winnable round from FT. Smokes go into boat, and a much needed kill from Cell. Now it's all up to Ego, and he needs to go huge here if they want to win the round. He does get flashed, and all of a sudden Cell picks it up. He is now sitting at a 15-3-3 stat line, and Porange does need to stick. Of course he does get the defuse, but Prisma absolutely threw that round. That is a completely unfortunate loss from FT in a round that looked practically unlosable, not unwinnable. Double negative. I took English in high school. I mean, that was an absolute throw. I understand the lineups, but that's an unfortunate situation. They are going to the tried and true A hit, the only round that they were able to take down, but they do want to wait for the KO knife. But KO is aware Sal does have the lineups and opts for a deeper knife instead. They are going to get the orb, and I think they are aware that an execute is happening. There's two of them, and Sal pops the ult. The entry pick is on Zaf with the entry kill, first blood on Porange. It's what you like to see from your Sentinel, and they do have full map control. Surely they are aware that Unrated does like to lurk. He is going to run into the what's it called? The bot, and Cell gets 4, and goes absolutely insane. They really cannot even stop this man, sitting at 19-4-3, and this is just an incredible round from Cell. This is exactly why SCG chose him as their franchise player. I mean, this is just textbook play as a KO. Anybody who's playing KO, study up. Creeper Zone at 2-10 needs to start watching some EDC Celaram VODs, because this is just a masterclass. Absolute slaughter from the defending side of Celaram and SCG. This is exactly what you want to see if you're Cliffs, the GM of SCG. I could not figure out what KJ turret was called last round when Unrated ran into it, getting insane map control. And everybody is looking good from the side of SCG. This is a tough situation for FT. I would really love to see a timeout from one of the players, even if the coach is not available, but this is a tough loss. This is not what you want to see. Looks like they are going to execute B here. Smokes are down and a flash is out, but nobody decides to entry on it. They gave up all of the information that they're going to be hitting. Now this is a strong side with 4 players here. We are going to have a gunfight in mid. Icy is able to get one with his knives, and he is the only one who's really holding his position. Cell is able to get 2, of course. Seems like he's good for 2 every single round, but he is going to get traded. And now we have a 3v3 situation. Both teams have ults to work with. I don't know if I would want to use an ult here. Mako does see Creeper, and Creeper does get a dink through the wall there. Unfortunately, the Sheriff through the wall. Headshot is not going to do it. Now we do have a situation where Creeper Zone might be trying to fight this KJ. Is he going to clear it is the question. No, he is not, and Unrated is able to get 2 there, and he looks really good. It seems to be a wasted all from Mako, but when you're winning 9-1, is it really wasted? I think it's just a little bit of BM. Unrated does spot him and is good for 3 there. Unrated with an absolute rat spot, but that is a spot that I love to play, so I cannot spite him for it. It's just something that you do need to check. You did have the flash, and Rethink now on the defending side is going to call a timeout, which could be favoring the side of SCG here, which I don't know is, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea, but maybe he's going and saying, hey, you know, I know this is looking like a really good round here, but don't let it get to your heads. We are on defending side. This is a CT sided map. From the side of FT, I think I'm just going to, you know, GG go next, guys. Like, save the mentals. This is okay. Or hey, we have 3 ults to work with. Let's use them. We need to try to get something going. Let's win this round. You make it 10-2 going into the easier half here. But against KWM, SCG was able to get 6 rounds on both halves. So you'd have to assume that they are at least good for 3 rounds on attack here. But we will see. We will see. This is, I do believe, FT's map pick as well. So I think they were thinking that this is going to be a pretty comfortable map here, but looks like that really is not going to be the case. Unrated is going to be setting up on B with his KJ util, but it looks like they're going to be opting for an A hit, so you're not going to be running into any KJ util there, but it looks like they're going to call for an early rotate, and the execute comes with the ult from Creeper Zone. Something that is absolutely necessary. Ego does ult onto top site in heaven. Will they expect it? He does drop though. It is a 5v5 situation. Cell and Unrated both have great ults for retake. This is not looking good on the side of FT. They do now know that Sova is going to be playing hell as he's trying to break the ult, but he is unfortunately unable to do it. And Prisma is able to go huge here and just get 2, but people are detained on site, and Creeper's the only one who's able to save him, and he does get a pick on Porridge, and unfortunately for SCG, that was exactly the amount of time that they needed for Porridge to get undetained and get a pick on the final kill. And we do have a 10-2 first half. You have to assume maybe that timeout from Rethink might have aided FT to reset their mentals. But going into this defending half, you now have a little bit of momentum. You absolutely need pistols here, though. Absolutely necessary. And it looks like we might try to get a little bit of an aggressive play from the side of FT here. Ego is holding a relatively aggressive angle. He might be looking to one way here with the smoke out. They are doing a 2-2-1 setup here. KJ is being left alone on B, and they do ping Ego with the KO knife. We do have a one-way on the side of A main, but Dark goes into tree, and they have and SCG has 3 people executing into tree. They have no util really needed. And Seo goes in, guns blazing. Unfortunately, it runs into Creeper zone, and Ego is able to pick up Mako as well. Creeper is good for 2. They trade Paranoias in A main, and it looks like it's going to be a 2v1. And Ego and Creeper taking over this round. Icy is able to get the final pick on Unrated. Of course, he's the last one alive. But that's an excellent, flawless defense, and that is exactly the kind of start that you want to see from the side of FT here. After absolutely getting slaughtered on the attacking side, you absolutely need to win pistols here. I think if SCG is able to win this eco, I think they have pretty much sealed the deal on this map. But we will see. Ego going for the one-way setup again, but he decides to go away. It looks like we might be opting for more of a B hit. Smokes do go out in mid from both teams. A dart goes in front of the attacking side smoke. We do have 3 players on B, both KJ and Sova. The classic 1-2 punch on B with Icy there as well. Looks like we might have a gunfight here in tree. They are going to hear the TP, and they should know exactly where he's going to be peeking from. Does not know that Mako's there, but unfortunately they both whiff, and Ego's able to capitalize with the better gun. He does know that there are a couple people mid. Does he decide to continue to peek this? I don't know if that's really the right decision here, but Seo is a little bit ahead of his team in mid, but he does have a decent amount of space here. Is going to get... Oh, he does dodge a second with the acrobatics, a second Sova dart, and that's exactly what you need from your star player there. To be living in these situations with some crazy acrobatics. Icy is able to get a pick on Unrated, and Prisma is able to get a pick on Seo. Is now a 1v5 situation. Can they go back-to-back flawless rounds? Orange does want to get the plant money, but a paranoia from Ego says no, you're not allowed to get plant money, but he does get a kill on Ego and does take away the flawless victory from the defending side. Orange saying, wouldn't let me plant. No, 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 sir. No plant money for you, Mr. 10-8 and 5. Ego trying to overtake the better controller of the map here at a 9-12 and 6 stat line. Looks like might want to finish A here. They do have a ping A main, but they do have 3 players on the B side, so it looks like they might try for a B hit. They do now have guns. This is a huge round for the side of FT if they can win it. A KO knife lineup from Creeper Zone is going to ping 2 in tree, and they do decide to regroup in tiles behind the Omen smoke. And we have 4 people leaning towards the side of mid. We do have Sova jump peeking, both Sova and KO on the side of FT jump peeking mid, and Cell is able to capitalize on that jump peek. A little bit of an overextend from Creeper Zone. Now looks like they are going to be opting for a hit into tree, and it's just Ego and Prisma to stop them in tree, but they are just flooding on site, and now it's just Ego and Zaf. Zaf needs to find some kills here. A little bit of a late position here. I'm telling Prisma, hey, don't do anything. Play with me. Maybe we can get a pick or two. Neither of us have guns, but this looks like a very difficult situation to win. They know that both players are there. It's a difficult gunfight to win from Prisma, but the smoke goes down, and Mako is able to get a pick through the smoke. The paranoia goes out, but Zaf is able to dodge it, and now it's just a 1v5 situation. Is he able to get another pick? Sayo is aware that he might be lurking through CT, but it does not look like that's where he's going to be, and Zaf is able to die to Spike without giving the other team an orb. And this is an unwinnable situation. I may be trying to die here, and I think that's exactly what Zaf is going to do. And a flawless victory now from the attacking side of SCG. It's exactly what you would expect from the favorites to win the season here once they have guns in their hands. Sayo's sitting at 11, 10, and 2. Looks like Cell might take over this MVP position here with a 22, 8, and 6 stat line. Looks like they might be going for somewhat of a default. Unrated does have bomb, but is the furthest up towards A. They do have 3 players on B, though. They might be waiting for a KO knife, and that's exactly what happens. They do say that the KO knife does go off on A, and once they don't get any pings with the KO knife, they decide to hit towards B, which it looks like this might start to be the heavier side from excuse me, FT. Looks like they're all going to be grouping up into B main. A KO knife does come down, clears market. They know nobody's there. Do they decide to smoke it still? They might. Picks do come down. That's an excellent swing. Double swing from Zaf and Creeper Zone. And the execute does come down. It's a 4v3 on B site. And Porridge is able to get a kill through the onto Zaf, who's playing on stairs, and guns are bullets are flying through the smoke. And Creeper Zone is able to get a kill on Cell, and we do have a 3v4 situation in favor of the defending side in FT. Bomb is down though, and everybody is going to be playing Boathouse. Icy spamming through the wall behind Switch. Looks like they might try to get an execute on site. They might want to start picking up the pace a little bit. They have pretty much cleared all of site. They know everybody should be playing in boat. All 3 did just get pinged. It is a 3v2 situation, but they do need to pick up the pace. Everybody is in the smoke. Icy is not able to get the 2 through the spray, and unfortunately, Mako thinks he got bombed, but he didn't. And Mako is able to clutch, incredible clutch from Mako. This is I can't believe what I just saw. That is an absolute win, a must-win round from both teams. I'm sorry, from the side of FT, but Mako shuts it down, and it looks like this is going to be an unwinnable game from the side of FT. I can't believe he was aware enough to look to see if somebody was still on bomb. He might have just saw it off the corner of his eye when he was swinging the other side of boat, but an incredible play from Mako, and goes absolutely huge. Looks like they're going to be opting towards an A hit, and is easily going to pick up Ego, who's swinging against 4 players. Sayo is on site, and the execute is now. Prisma is able to get 1 with the judge, but unfortunately he's not able to get anybody else. Creeper Zone does get a pick on Mako, and now it's Cell with the trade. It is now a 3v2 situation, and neither player is on site. Sayo does have knives. Does he choose to pop them? Maybe. Cell is able to get a pick on Icy, and Sayo does finish off the round with a 3K, finishing it on Zaf. An incredible game from SCG. A 13-4 victory. A very resounding win. Saying, yes, there's a reason why we're minus 200 in betting odds to win the season. Looking at the stat lines here, we do have Cell coming in with match MVP, an average combat score of 373, an absolutely incredible ACS in the tournament play, but finishing with a stat line of 24, 9, and 8, with Sayo right behind him at 14, 11, and 2. I mean, it does not get much better than this, folks. I think we're going to be taking a quick 5-minute intermission. I might be joined later by the likes of FT Anima, and I will see you in the next map of Bind.